Hola, buenas tardes. Estamos en la quinta semana. En este video vas a contestar preguntas acerca de ser, estar y tener y también los mandatos informales. Entonces, deben de estudiar antes de tomar esta prueba o play pause it. Hay materia aquí, si quieren practicar o repasar antes, aquí está. Esta semana puedes ver lo que tenemos que hacer. Ser recíproco, los mandatos y ser, estar, tener. Vamos a continuar con el presente del subjuntivo, pero no tanto esta semana, que en la semana que viene vamos a regresar al subjuntivo. Bien, entonces vamos a empezar con un repaso de ser, estar y tener. So you might have heard how you feel, where you are. Always use the verb estar. So some examples. Estoy en mi casa. Estoy un poco triste hoy. O cosas. Mis libros están en la mesa. O mis amigos están en la playa. Se usa estar con emociones. Y también el presente progresivo. Yo estoy hablando, estamos aprendiendo. So hopefully this is a review of the use of the verb estar. The verb ser, of course, you use for la hora, la ubicación de un evento. This might be a tricky one because where you are is always estar, but the location of an event is always ser. So el concierto es en la plaza. Profesión, yo soy profesora, ustedes son estudiantes. Origen, nacionalidad, soy de California, soy estadounidense o soy mexicana, ¿verdad? Your nationality. La fecha, hoy es domingo. Personalidad, descripciones. Con adjetivos, we're going to talk about with adjectives, but personality and descriptions que no cambian se usa el verbo ser, ¿verdad? Posesión es mío, es de mi mamá. Possession, and cantidades y precios también se usa ser. In this chapter, you're going to go through some distinct uses of ser y estar. So in some cases, when you have these adjectives, the meaning actually changes. The same adjective used with ser versus estar. So to think about these, is boring versus bored, right? You want to get that one right. Really important, used a lot, is the adjective listo. Estoy listo, or if I'm a girl, estoy lista. Mi amiga es lista. So she is a clever person versus ella está lista tomar el examen. She's ready to take the exam. And then, of course, verde as the color versus verde as unripe with the verb estar. With adjectives, this is going to be a little bit of your play pause it quiz here in a second. So you're thinking through, is this going to be something that is changing? So emotions, feelings versus personality traits. So here's your play pause it, ¿verdad? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Siete, ¿no? So you're going to go through and there's going to be 7 options for this one. Ser with adjectives y estar with adjectives. Here's another play pause it. Perdón. Some questions. Ser, estar y tener. So this is just a mix, ¿verdad? So when would you use ser, when would you use estar, y when would you use tener? Bien, and this next little section is going to be with mandatos informales. I really recommend studying these a little bit before you take this little play pause it. But this is just a very brief review of these. So any AR verb with a positive informal command, a lot of these are used so commonly. If you use Google Translate, this will come up, right? The informal commands, because they're used, mostly commands are used informally, ¿verdad? So habla, I'm going to command someone to talk. No hables, I'm going to command them not to talk. So the negative should look familiar. The negative is going to actually be the subjunctive, right, in the to form. So no hables, ¿verdad? The same with comer. I'm going to command you to eat, come, versus no comas. And those are just the regular ones. There's a lot of irregular ones. Like I said, there's also irregular ones specific to the positive informal commands. And those are the ones that are going to be tricky, right? So they're really short, like as, pon, di, da. right? So those are going to be the positive informal commands. The negatives are going to look like the subjunctive. Right? So the negative informal, like no pongas, right? The verb poner, no digas, right? Those are going to sound kind of familiar, but the positive ones that are irregular ones you should memorize. Yeah? Okay, so what happens when you have a pronoun or an indirect object pronoun after a verb? This is what happens. Ayúdame, right? Ayúdame becomes the positive command. The negative is no me ayudes. The pronoun goes before the negative command. Bien, so here comes your little prueba part of this. So again, make sure you review this. This is just some practice. So what would the command be? The positive command for limpiar la oficina. So you aren't going to repeat the word oficina. The next one, you're going to command someone to put on their pants. Let's see. So informal command. The next one is negative, so do not do this. So you're going to have no, and then you're going to have the pronoun for la estufa, and the verb tocar. Again, a reflexive verb, a positive command. A negative command, this one's, of course, irregular. And then the positive commanding you to go now. Okay. Bien. And then commanding to tell the truth to me, a mí. To give la mano, a mí. Muy bien. Gracias.